Ever wished you could travel back in time and be a fly on the wall for like the birth of something huge?
Yeah.
Well, thanks to this recent court case, we kind of can.
Okay.
You gave us this whole stack of leaked emails
Yeah.
from like the very beginning of OpenAI.
Wow.
Way back when it was just, an idea
Okay.
between Elon Musk and Sam Altman.
It's like 2015, right?
Yeah, like pre-Chat GPT, pre all the hype,
Right.
before they were, the rock stars of AI.
Yeah.
What's crazy is these emails don't just talk about the tech stuff.
Oh.
They show all this worry they had about AGI.
Oh, yeah. Artificial general intelligence.
Yeah.
That's different from, the AI we use every day.
Right, exactly.
Like AGI is about making machines that can think like humans,
Whoa.
solve all sorts of problems, just like we do.
That's kind of scary.
Back then, people were really freaking out about whether AGI was even possible.
And what it would mean if we actually achieved it.
Exactly. Huge ethical questions.
So let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
It's 2015. Altman sends Musk this email.
Yeah.
And he basically just casually proposes this, Manhattan Project for AI.
Whoa, hold on. Like the one that built the atomic bomb?
Yeah, but he was adamant that it had to be independent from Google.
So already this tension with big tech. Interesting.
And what's really striking is how much Altman emphasizes individual empowerment.
What do you mean?
Like, he really believed that AI should be a tool for people.
Oh, okay.
To make us better, not replace us or control us.
Right.
This idea of safe and beneficial AI, that was like their core value from day one.
That makes sense. So how did they plan to make this Manhattan Project for AI happen?
Well, he lays out this vision for a nonprofit.
A nonprofit for something this potentially huge.
Yeah, and he wanted a governance board, to oversee everything.
Who would be on this board?
All the big names, Musk, Bill Gates, the whole crew.
Wow. Like a council of tech elders.
Almost, yeah. It's like they wanted to create this benevolent force to guide the development of this crazy, powerful technology.
Fascinating.
But then it gets even weirder. Altman was insistent that researchers should get paid.
Well, that's not weird. Everyone needs to get paid.
Yeah, but he wanted their pay to be totally separate from whatever they built.
Huh. That's unusual. Why?
He was trying to prevent conflicts of interest from the very start.
Oh, I see. Like if a researcher's pay is tied to their project's success, they might be tempted to cut corners or, prioritize profit over safety.
Exactly. It's like he was anticipating the problems that AI could create down the line.
Wow. Very forward thinking.
And you can see this is like the seed of what later became their whole capped profit model.
Right.
So they have this huge mission, this unique structure.
Yeah.
But to build a cutting-edge AI company, you need the best people.
Absolutely. The top talent.
And these emails show just how crazy the competition for AI experts was even back then.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Everyone wanted a piece of the AI pie.
It was an all-out war for talent.
Especially with DeepMind in the picture. They were making huge waves with AlphaGo, beating that world champion Go player.
Yeah, DeepMind was the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
They were throwing around insane salaries, poaching people left and right.
Like, one email describes them cornering people at NPS.
NPS.
The Neural Information Processing Systems Conference, a big AI research gathering.
Oh, right.
DeepMind was basically ambushing researchers there, offering them crazy deals.
Wow. So what kind of money are we talking about here?
The numbers are eye-popping. John Schulman DeepMind offered him $250,000 a year.
$250,000 just to start.
Yeah, and there's another email about Wojciech Zaremba. He got a verbal offer for over $1 million from Facebook's AI lab.
$1 million? Dang, that's serious money.
Clearly, money was no object in this AI arms race.
It's like the Wild West of tech.
And this is where you really start to see Elon Musk's personality come through in the emails.
Oh, yeah. How so?
He was getting super nervous about DeepMind, their progress, their whole approach to AGI.
What didn't he like about their approach?
In one email, he calls DeepMind's philosophy, one mind to rule the world.
Yikes.
He was worried about one company controlling all this powerful AI.
Makes sense. A lot of power concentrated in one place can be dangerous.
Exactly.
So what did Musk do about it?
Well, he started getting more involved, sending these intense emails.
About what?
Emphasizing the importance of hiring the very best people, even if they hadn't finished their degrees.
So not just going after the usual suspects.
He was looking for raw talent, people he called obviously brilliant.
Like diamonds in the rough.
Yeah. And he urged the OpenAI team to grab them before they made some big breakthrough and became even harder to get.
You can practically feel the urgency in his words. He's like, we need to act now.
He was clearly worried about falling behind.
So this fear of DeepMind, this worry about AGI becoming centralized, that becomes a major theme in these emails.
It really seemed to drive a lot of Musk's thinking and his involvement in OpenAI's early decisions.
Interesting. It's like he saw the potential dangers of AGI very early on.
And he was determined to do something about it.
So OpenAI is trying to, recruit these brilliant researchers,
Yeah.
get the computing power they need,
Mm-hmm.
and a big deal comes along.
Oh, yeah, this Microsoft partnership.
Right. They get access to Microsoft's Azure cloud platform.
On the surface, it sounds like a pretty sweet deal.
Right. OpenAI gets the resources.
Yeah.
And Microsoft gets to be, part of this cutting-edge AI development.
But when you dig into the emails,
Uh-oh.
things weren't so harmonious.
What happened?
Elon Musk was not happy.
Really? Why?
He hated the way the agreement was worded.
Oh.
There was this clause about OpenAI, like, evangelizing Microsoft's Azure platform.
Evangelizing, like they had to promote it.
Yeah, and Musk felt like that totally went against OpenAI's whole mission of independence.
I could see why he'd be upset.
He thought they looked like, a marketing pawn for Microsoft.
Not a good look for a company that's trying to, save the world with AI.
There's actually this one email where Musk says the deal made him feel nauseous.
Nauseous. Wow, he really hated it.
Yeah, strong language even for him.
It seems like he was really worried about aligning too closely with a company like Microsoft.
He thought it could, pull OpenAI away from its core values.
And this was 2016, right?
Yeah,
When people were getting really nervous about the power of big tech.
exactly. And I think Musk's reaction reflects that.
This broader fear that corporations would end up controlling and exploiting AI.
It wasn't just the Microsoft deal that was causing problems, though.
Oh.
What else? There were internal tensions, too.
Within OpenAI.
Yeah, remember Rajesh Karpathy?
The guy who went on ahead AI at Tesla.
Yeah, him. He sends this, pretty blunt email to Musk.
When was this?
January 2018.
Okay.
And he basically lays out all his concerns about OpenAI's progress.
Or lack of progress.
Yeah.
What was he worried about?
He thought they were falling way behind Google.
In terms of research.
Research, impact, everything.
Oh, that's not good.
He basically says they're on a path of certain failure, unless they make some major changes.
Like what?
Well, he points to their nonprofit funding model as a major problem.
Yeah. Google was pouring billions into AI.
Exactly. How can you compete with that?
Right.
And get this, he even suggests merging OpenAI with Tesla.
Whoa, that's a bold move.
His idea was that Tesla had, the resources and engineering talent that OpenAI needed.
To catch up with Google.
Yeah.
So what did Musk think of this idea?
Well, he forwards the email to the OpenAI leadership
Okay.
with some, pointed comments of his own.
Oh, what did he say?
He made it very clear that he was not happy with how things were going
I bet.
and that something had to change.
What were his options?
He basically said either he gets way more involved
Okay.
or he walks away completely
He's going to pull the plug.
and publicly distance himself from OpenAI.
Wow, that's a serious ultimatum.
Yeah, this email is a real turning point.
How so?
You see this growing tension between Musk's desire for control
Right.
and the direction OpenAI was going.
They weren't seeing eye to eye.
Not at all. And right around this time, another bombshell drops.
Oh no, what now?
The Honest Thoughts email.
What's that?
It's from Ilya Sutskever and Greg Brockman, two of the main guys at OpenAI.
I see.
And this email, it's like looking directly into the heart of OpenAI's internal struggles.
Really?
Sutskever and Brockman, they're expressing serious concerns about Musk.
About what?
His desire for control. They were worried he might become like an AGI dictator.
An AGI dictator. That's a pretty heavy accusation.
Yeah, they were questioning his motivations, whether his vision for OpenAI really aligned with theirs.
This is getting really juicy.
Right, and it's such a candid email.
Yeah.
Especially considering, Musk's power and influence.
It takes guts to challenge someone like that.
They even admit they were hesitant to bring this up before because they were afraid of, pissing him off.
Makes sense. You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, especially when it's Elon Musk's hand.
So they're struggling with this ethical dilemma.
Yeah, I can see that.
Musk is brilliant. He brings a ton of resources to the table.
Right.
But they're uneasy about his whole approach to power.
This focus on CEO titles and, looking good in the press.
Exactly. And Musk's response to their email.
Oh, I bet he wasn't thrilled.
He basically tells them, start your own company if you don't like it here.
He shut them down.
Yeah, he makes it crystal clear he won't keep funding them unless they're fully on board with his vision.
So things are getting pretty tense at OpenAI.
You've got this clash of personalities, the anxiety about AGI, and this fundamental question. How do you balance ambition with ethics?
Big questions, no easy answers.
And this is when Sam Altman really steps up.
Altman, he's the guy who sent the first email to Musk, right?
Yeah, he tries to navigate all these clashing personalities.
Find a path forward.
But he's not just a mediator.
Oh, well.
Yes, he starts to champion this new structure for OpenAI,
What kind of structure?
a capped profit company.
What's that?
He thinks this can solve their funding problems.
Because they needed billions, right?
Yeah, but he also wants to preserve OpenAI's original mission.
So how does a capped profit company work?
Well, investors get a fixed return on their investment,
Okay.
but it's capped at a certain multiple.
I see.
Any profit above that cap goes back to the nonprofit arm of OpenAI.
So it's a hybrid model.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Trying to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, attract the big money without totally selling out to the profit motive.
It's a tough balance.
Definitely. And even though Altman is pushing this new structure,
Yeah.
he's still not totally on board with Greg and Ilya.
The guys who wrote the Honest Thoughts email.
Yeah, he tells them that their email, shook his trust in them.
What didn't he like about it?
He thought their communication was inconsistent, even childish at times.
Ouch.
And he even says he needs like 10 days to decide if he wants to keep working with them.
Things are getting messy.
Yeah, but even though he's frustrated with them,
Yeah?
he seems to share their concerns
About?
about keeping OpenAI independent
Right.
and safeguarding its mission.
So they're all kind of on the same page deep down.
I think so, yeah. But it's definitely a turning point for OpenAI.
It'll be interesting to see how this shift to a capped profit company plays out.
Definitely. Okay, so we left off with OpenAI at this crossroads.
Total turning point.
Right. Internal tensions are super high.
Yeah.
The nonprofit model just isn't working.
Not keeping up.
And Elon's basically saying shape up or ship out.
Tough love.
So what happens?
Well, Sam Altman,
Yeah,
he kind of takes center stage.
he does.
Not just, smoothing things over,
Right.
but he becomes like the architect
Mhm.
of OpenAI's future.
What does he do?
He starts pushing for this new structure.
Oh, yeah, the capped profit company.
He thinks it can solve their money problem.
They needed billions, right.
At least.
Mhm.
But he's also trying to,
Yeah.
hold on to their original mission.
Keep those idealistic roots.
Right.
So remind me, how does this capped profit thing work?
Okay, so investors, they get a fixed return, capped at a certain multiple,
Okay.
but any profit on top of that
Yeah.
goes back to the nonprofit.
So it's kind of having it both ways.
Yeah, it's this weird hybrid.
Trying to, attract the big bucks
Mm.
without totally selling out.
Trying to reconcile these competing pressures.
Right. Idealism versus, the realities of the market.
And the emails show they really wrestled with this.
They did.
How to structure it,
Yeah.
Really aware of the potential for,
Conflicts of interest.
yeah, exactly.
Trying to protect OpenAI's values.
For example, they set up this board.
Oh, yeah.
Only members without any financial stake
Okay.
could vote on big decisions.
So no one could, game the system.
Especially, decisions that might pit investors against the nonprofit mission.
Checks and balances, in government.
Kind of, yeah. Trying to make sure
Mhm.
that profit
Yeah.
doesn't overshadow
Right.
their commitment to, safe AI.
Beneficial AI.
Right. AI that helps humanity.
It's funny, though, right? Because Elon,
Yeah.
he was so against,
Yeah.
commercialization.
The nausea email.
Right. But the emails show he was actually part of these discussions.
About the capped profit model.
Yeah, he even argued for a lower return cap for investors.
Interesting.
Really trying to minimize the whole profit motive.
So maybe he saw it as
Yeah.
a necessary compromise
He must realize the nonprofit model, it just couldn't keep up.
with how fast AI was developing.
It's kind of ironic, though, isn't it?
How it felt like.
He's the one who later criticized OpenAI for becoming too commercial.
Yeah, it's like this moment where they're trying to figure out how to balance these ideals with the reality.
Yeah, the need for funding and resources.
Right.
So what do you think? Did they make the right call?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
These emails, they show how complicated it was.
The human side of building this world-changing technology.
Right. And the questions they were wrestling with, they're still relevant today.
Did the capped profit model work?
Did it lead to the very commercialization that Musk feared?
It's a story with no easy answers,
But I think it's a story everyone should know.
because AI is here to stay.
Yeah, and it's going to shape all our lives.
So that's our deep dive into the early days of OpenAI.
A look behind the curtain?
We saw the big personalities, the worries about AGI, and the choices that made OpenAI what it is today.
Choices that are still having consequences.
What surprised you? What stood out to you?
And most importantly,
Yeah,
what do you think about the future of AI?
we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, dive into the full email archive yourselves.
Links are in the show notes.
And let's keep this conversation going.